thank you for segueing over for me into our next discussion. I don't expect this to take long, Tim. This is just something that I kind of want to have a little check-in, like a Cub check-in, basically, of how we feeling, because I asked a coworker that I work with, who's a Cub fan.
Okay.
I asked him, like, we talked so hard about at the beginning of the year, extending Kyle Tucker, and I haven't heard anything good or bad about it. So basically, Tim, I'm going to propose the question just like I did for him. Should we be worried that we haven't had an update on an extension for Kyle Tucker?
Let me pull up an article I was just reading that explains it perfectly. It was from Patrick Wolborn, and he says, Kyle Tucker may be closer to signing, but not imminent.
Okay.
And he says they have not signed a contract yet, and he's done a stellar job this year so far. End of article.
So,
brilliant fucking intake, Patrick. Thank you for telling us what we all fucking know. I hope he didn't get paid for that article. I swear to God.
So I'm going to tell you what my coworker said, and
this
tell me
his stats so far. Thank you.
And you tell me how it makes you feel as a Cub fan, because it didn't make me feel good. Basically, my coworker said, "Yeah, because he's going to hit free agency," and I went, "What?" And he goes, "Yeah, you don't expect him to, test the waters in free agency." And I went, "No, that's bad for us. Can we still get him if he hits free agency, or do we have to get this done beforehand?"
We can still get him if he hits free agency.
Mm-hmm.
But if we want to avoid that, we're going to give him, I think, twice as much money than he deserves.
Yeah.
And that's going to be the problem, because if it's me, I'm looking at like a 5-year, $48 million deal.
Mm-hmm.
What that pans out to is about 215 mil, something like that. I don't know what it is. I'm looking at some stats where people are like, expect 450 to $500 million a year.
Mm-hmm.
So that's 10 years at $50 million. That's fucking crazy to me.
I mean,
that's crazy to me.
Earlier, correct me if I'm wrong, you did say when we talked about it at the beginning of the season that it may take a Vladimir Guerrero Jr. type contract, which is $500 million for 14 years.
To get him to sign mid-season would be what I meant.
Yeah.
I don't think we should be shocked if this is a conversation we're having in December.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I don't. Unless he wants to sign to something short, like 2 years or something, but he probably won't.
Mm-hmm.
His agent will probably advise against that. And while he is probably the best guy on our team,
mm-hmm.
no shade being thrown, love him there.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't feel like a Cub still.
No,
you look
he
at
doesn't.
the roster moving around and gelling with each other, you never see him in like the cool like high five rituals. You don't see articles about him like Seiya and PCA. He does that a little bit, but that's because like he's probably contractually obligated to.
I'll be honest. There was one that he
feels
did.
Like he's straight business.
Mm-hmm. There was a double he hit, Tim, real quick, and he like got up. I can't tell if it was because the slide was rough, but he did this thing that they do, and like the way he's doing, I'm like, oh, he doesn't look happy, but I can't tell if this is me just overanalyzing it.
Yeah, I don't know. I think he's a straight business guy. I don't think he hates the Cubs. I don't think he loves the Cubs.
So, do you think we can make him? Is it just winning, or can we still make him fall in love with Chicago, us, and the team?
Neither.
You don't think if we go to the World Series, that ain't enough? We got to win it. It's all money. Here's what
it feels that way with him.
He's
a very emotionless guy.
Because here's what I worry about, right? I worry about hitting free agency and a team like the Yankees or a team like the Dodgers or hell, You know what would break my fucking heart, Tim?
Don't say it.
Is if he goes, oh yeah, I'll go back to Houston. I would be furious if we traded him. We gave up Cam Smith, traded everything, and he goes, I'm going to go back to Houston.
And his reason is that he wants to go play with Cam Smith.
No, if the reason's like, I always loved Houston, I never wanted to leave, I'd be furious. I'm not Kyle, I'm not saying that's you. I'm just speaking as a worried Cubs fan here.
I think
because I love having you on the fucking team.
Yeah, no.
He looks like a Cub. That's the thing. I agree with you. It doesn't feel like he's a Cub still, but he has the look of a Cub.
Sure. I'd be worried too. This is the last year. We have until maybe December 2nd, I think, to make a decision on him.
Yeah. My last
before he becomes a free agent. My
last question for this, and I'm gonna hit you right in the part we don't want to think about, but I'm gonna ask you regardless. He hits free agency. He doesn't sign with the Cubs. What uniform then is he wearing next year? If you had to put a prediction on it right now. If he doesn't sign with the Cubs, what uniform does he have on in 2026?
I think he's going to end up in the AL East. Whether that is a Oriole, a Yankee, or a Red Sox, I think that those are all hitters' parks for lefties, and he would excel. I think he would actually be hitting way better under a Yankees uniform than he would a Cub.
I'll ask you this, or I'll say this. You know what my answer was going to be, Tim?
NL?
He's wearing fucking pinstripes if he's not a Cub next year.
The Yankees.
Yeah, he's wearing Yankee pinstripes
I think so
next year.
I think that it just kind of makes sense. They always take our fucking leftovers before we're done with them.
So the other reason is so Trent Grisham is a free agent. Cody Bellinger has a player op for $25 million. I don't see how he, in his right mind, says, "Nah, I'm good."
Yeah.
I'm
gonna bet on myself, coach.
But yet again, they got Ben Rice, who's young, who's gonna enter arbitration. Like, yet again, all this doesn't mean anything because they could just give him the money.
Can with their? I mean, whatever. We don't even talk about this, but
no, go ahead.
Can they afford it?
Yeah, there's no salary cap in baseball right now.
Yeah, but there is a luxury tax, isn't there? I mean, like, you can't just give out whatever you want. There's still like a payroll.
So now
there's still amount of money you start the season with.
There's no salary cap. Instead, it utilizes a competitive balance tax known as a luxury tax to relegate the team's spending. System was implemented in 1997, imposes, so there is a luxury tax.
Yeah, it's not necessarily the Wild Wild West here.
But it's nothing, and this is yet again leading into why the 2027 season probably isn't going to happen. Is because they owners want a more structured, they want a cap and they want higher penalties for going into the luxury tax. It's just, he's going to be a Yankee if he's not. He's going to be a Yankee. Let me look at real quick. I was going to pull up the Red Sox.
While you're doing that, let's a quick update on the Chicago Cubs game. Shota Himanaga has given up 3 solo homers, and it's in the top of the third right
That's
now.
not
He
good.
I got 2 back-to-back in the first inning, and then he just gave up another one to David Fry.
That's not good. I got Cubs -1.5.
Oh, yeah. 35 pitches into the top of the third. We are up 3. They are up 3-0 to the Guardians.
Problem with the Red Sox, I'll just say, is they've got Roman Anthony, who's their young guy. They got Wilyer Abreu, who's pre-arbitration.
Roman Anthony can play anywhere. I think he's also a center fielder.
The only outfielder that they have that is coming up under contract is Ref Schneider, who he's nothing. Like Duran, Anthony, and then if their outfield could be Duran, Anthony, and Kyle Tucker.
I brought up the Sox because of their short left field.
Yeah. But the Yankees have that short porch as well, like you said.
That's why I think the Yankees are probably the better option for him.
Cub fans, this is going out to you. Let us know.
I'll tell you this. He's not going to want to shave.
Well, they don't have that rule anymore.
Oh, that's right.
They got rid of it.
Motherfucker has no chin.
Yeah, they got rid of it. But Cub fans, let us know. Are you as worried as me? Is he going to hit free agency? Is Kyle Tucker leaving us?
Hold on. Before we end, what is your proposed contract for him?
I'd give him the moon. Give him whatever the fuck he wants. Keep
10 years, $500 million?
I'm keeping him. Whatever he wants.
Really?
I'm giving him the piece of paper and I said, write down what you want. And he passes it back and I turn it to the payroll person. I go, can you finalize this contract, please? You're taken care of, Kyle. I keep him at all cost. Keep him at all cost.
That is where we'll end the segment. That is what we want the commenters to talk about.
Keep him at all costs.
Or do you let him fucking walk?
Even if I have to give up either a Nico, a Hap, or a Seiya in 2 years.
What if it's 2 of the 3?
Yes, I keep Kyle Tucker.
Okay, cool.
Because yet again, I'm kind of preparing for Seiya to be gone after this contract. I don't think he's going to get re-signed. I think he'll want to stay. The Cubs won't want him to stay, if that makes sense. But
unfortunately, yeah.
As always, we'd like to thank the people that make these videos possible, our patrons whose names are displayed on the screen now. If you would like to become a patron, go ahead and click the Patreon icon in the bottom right. And if you'd like to check out another video from MVP Sports, hit the video in the upper left. As always, thanks for watching.